All right, boys and girls, today is Tuesday. We are starting Module 9, Lesson 6. Okay, so this is common fractions, and today we are dividing again because this whole module is on dividing. We're dividing a unit fraction, which is a fraction with the number 1 on top and any number on the bottom. So 1 over 12, 1 over 10, 1 over 15, by a whole number. So I'm doing the same thing as yesterday. I'm taking a unit fraction. I'm dividing it by a whole number. Again, a whole number is any number that isn't being divided by anything or a part of something, which means it's not a fraction, it's not a decimal. So like 1 over 12 divided by a whole number, 18. But this time we are using multiplication, which we did yesterday, but we used the multiplication to check our work yesterday. Today, you're going to do it with multiplication, but not checking your work. You're going to actually just do the problems in multiplication. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at this. And it says, let me change my color real quick. Let me get my highlighter going. Okay. Ooh, okay, highlighter. Okay. So it says John noticed a pattern when dividing unit fraction by whole numbers. So he's dividing unit fractions by whole numbers using the pictures, but he found this pattern. Okay, so we're going to be detectives. We're going to look for this pattern. There's my little detective. This pattern that he found. Okay, what do you think you notice? Okay, so he was looking at this and he said, okay, 1/3 divided by 5 is the same thing as 1 over 15. He says, wait, 3 from the third times 5 is 15. So 3, 5 gives me my answer, which is 15. So he's doing what we did yesterday, what we noticed yesterday, right? Again, 1/4, 4, divided by 2 is 8. Wait, 4 times 2 gives me my answer, 1/8, right? So he's finding that if you multiply the bottom number by the whole, you take the denominator and you multiply it by the whole, you get your answer, which is what we did yesterday when we were checking our work. So for example, 1/3 stays the same. My division turns into multiplication. My 5, which is the same thing as 5 over 1, flips upside down, which turns into 1/5, and I get 1 over 15. But he is noticing this, okay? Now let's look at this next student. The student's name is Mako. Mako. I don't know, whatever you want to call him, you can call him that. I'm going to say Mako. Was thinking about the same equations. What do you notice? Oh, it's a she. She was thinking about the same things. What do you notice? What do you think she noticed about, and what operation does the word of indicate? Okay, so she noticed what we noticed and what we've been doing. 1/5 of 1/3 is 1/15th, and we know that the word of, because we've done this before, means multiplication. 1 times 1 is 1. 5 times 3 is 15. So 1/3 of 1/5 is 15. Okay, so let's look at this. And I'm going to do one of the questions in the step up. I'm going to change the color because that color is not very noticeable. There we go, that's better. It says 1/3 divided by 2. So I know that's the same thing as saying 1/2 of 1/3 because 2 over 1, if I flipped it around, it would be 1/2, right? So 1/2 of 1/3, which is the same thing as 1/2 times 1/3, which equals 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6, 1/6. Okay, let's look at this one. It says blank of blank. So I know 1/4, if I flipped 4, it's 4 wholes is 4 over 1, right? Any whole is that number over 1. I'm going to flip it upside down. So instead of being 4 wholes, it'll be 1 over 4. correct? So I know 1/4 of 1/2 is the same thing as saying 1/4 times 1/2, because the word of means times. I would multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. They're doing the same thing we did up here, where the first number stays the same. Look, the first number stays the same. The second number gets flipped upside down, right? Ooh, this one is 2 whole numbers. So this is 6/1 and 5/1, right? So now my first number stays the same. So that's just going to be 6 wholes, right? That first number always stays the same. My second number gets flipped upside down. So it's 1/5 of 6. So it's the same thing as 1/5 times 6/1, which is 6/5. All right, I'm going to do 2 more problems. I'll do F and I'll do G. Okay, so again, first number stays the same, so 12 wholes. First, I'm going to put ones underneath all of my whole numbers because I know any whole number, I can put an invisible over 1 on under it, right? So 12 wholes, my first number stays the same, so it's going to stay as 12 or 12/1. My second number gets flipped upside down, so instead of 5/1, it's going to be 1/5. So it would be 1/5 times 12/1, which is 1 times 12 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5. And if I'm an extra overachiever, I can even fix this. All right, which would be 2 and 2/5, right? For those of you who remember how to do that, right? Let's look at G now. G, my first number stays the same, so it's going to be 1/8. My second number is going to get flipped upside down. So instead of 3/1, it's going to be 1/3. And of just means multiply. So it's going to be 1/3 times 1/8. I multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 8 is 24. So again, I'm going to go ahead and write the steps right here. Step 1, first number stays the same. Step 2, the division turns into multiplication. And step 3, the second number turns upside down. Oops, upside down. Which in the mathematical term for that, instead of upside down, is called the reciprocal, right? So the second number turns upside down, which is called the reciprocal, okay? When you turn it upside down, you're getting the reciprocal. All right, let's look at your guys' homework today. Your guys' work is numbers 2, 3, and the step ahead. Let me go ahead and set up one of number 2. I'll set up one of number 3, one of number 4, and one of the step ahead. If you feel like you can do it on your own, do you have to listen to me? No, just push pause, which is one good thing about digital learning. When you feel like you got it, you don't even have to listen to me anymore. You can just turn me off and do it yourself. But in the class, you can't do that. You can't turn me off, right? So let's look at 2. I'm going to do 2C as my example, okay? 2C. A new swimming pool is 1/5 full. It took 3 hours to fill it that much. How full was it after 1 hour? One of the 3 would be 1/3 of it, right? They're trying to make us really give us a tricky one. So if 1, it would be 1/3, right? So I would go ahead and I would say it's 1/5 full and it took 1/3, it took 3 hours. Whew. I'm thinking about this one, you guys. I'm so glad I did this one as an example because even I'm confused by it. I'm thinking it is 1/5. Yes, it's 1/5 divided by 1/3. Oh my gosh, that took me forever. Now the first number stays the same, so it's still 1/5. My division turns into multiplication, which they already did, and my second number flips upside down, which would be, 3 over 1, and that would give me 1 times 3 is 3, 5 times 1 is 5. It is 3/5 full. Nope, I did something wrong. That is impossible. 3/5 full? How is it more full in less time? Nope. Look, I did something wrong. Even the teacher makes mistakes. It is 1/3. Duh, Mrs. RF, divided by 1/5. So it'd be 1/3. And instead of divided by 1/5, it'd be 5 over 1, which would be 5/3 full. That's even worse. A swimming pool is 1/5 full. It took 3 hours to fill it that much. How much full? I'm going to do this with a picture because I'm losing my mind. Okay, the swimming pool is 1/5 full. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1/5, right? Okay, 1/5 full. Thank you. Okay, and it took 3 hours to do that. 1 over 15 is the answer. Duh. Okay, I got it. It is 1/5 divided by 3 wholes, which is 3 over 1, which is the same thing as 1/5 times 1/3. I already went ahead and did that because I was being extra smart, which would give me 1 over 15. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me do one more example problem now. Everybody better get 2C right, okay? The answer is 1 over 15. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, let's do D. All right, for D, it says a half a pound of grapes is shared evenly with 3 people. That's so much easier. The reason the first one was so hard was because I went ahead and I did the whole math part in my head, which I shouldn't have done. So it's a half a pound and it's divided amongst 3 people. So the first number stays the same. The division turns into multiplication and the second number gets flipped upside down, which would give us 1/3. And the answer is 1/6. So much better. Okay. Let's look at 3B. Okay. 3B is having us solve this problem, but in these problems we have to remember PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, the order of operations. First, I have to do P, which is parentheses. Are there any parentheses? No. Then I have to do exponents. Are there any exponents? No. Then I have to do multiplication. Is there any multiplication? Nah. Then I have to do division. Oh, there's some division right here. 1/3 divided by 8. So I do 1/3. And I turn the division into multiplication. Instead of writing 8 over 1, I'd flip it over and do 1 over 8, which would give me 1 over 24. So this whole part right here would equal 1 over 24. And I still have this left right here. So the part that's left, this 7, is going to be 7 minus, and this part that I already answered, 1 over 24. Now, is there any more division left? No. Is there any addition left? No. Is there some subtraction left? Yes. 7 minus 1 over 24, which is the same thing as saying, oh, I changed the color somehow. It's the same thing as saying 7 over 1 minus 1 over 24. Right? Which would give us 6 wholes and 23 over 24, right? Which is what we learned in our old module, how to subtract fractions. Okay? All right. Let's look at 4. Write an equation to match the sentence. Use a letter for the unknown amount. Add 5 and 1/9. So I'm going to go ahead, and for this one, it's probably really helpful to underline or highlight your keywords. I have add 5 and 1/9. That's going to be my first part. Then, so this, I have to do this first. So that shows me that I should do parentheses around it because I want to do it first. Then, divide the result by 4. So here I have my problem. I know it is add 5 and 1/9 because that's what it says, 5, 1/9, and add. And I know I want to do that first. So whenever you want to do something first, you put parentheses. It says then divide the result by 4. Divide it by 4, and then my answer is just going to be right. Okay, I think you guys can do 4A. All right. Now let's look at this. Rewrite the equation using what you know about division with fractions. Then calculate the answer. You're just going to have to turn all of these into over 1, over 1, over 1, over 1. Do these ones first. Then take this answer and divide it by this. And take this answer and divide it by this. This part is a little challenging, but I really feel like if you take it slow, you can do the step ahead. The step ahead will not be graded. You will be graded on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 problems on the top 2, 3, and 4. I will not grade the step ahead. All right? Let me know if you guys have any questions, and then send me a Class Dojo if you need any help, okay? Have a great day, and remember to turn these in on Class Dojo. Lots of you guys are doing it, but not turning it in, right? If you don't turn it in, I don't know you're doing it, so I cannot give you your Class Dojo points, okay? So make sure you turn these in on Google Classroom. Make sure you click turn in. If you upload it but don't click turn in, I'm not going to get it. You have to click turn in, all right? Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.